Okay. I'm so excited again. This is a weekend segment, Angira's Baat-Room. I'm RJ Angira. Welcome to Red Adda Superhits 93.5 Red FMP. Well, every week we bring in exclusive guests who are invited, by the way, to my show. But this week, I got in somebody from across the world, somebody who's, been such a big part of our lives, especially with this lockdown, and somebody who I am a big fan of. Ricky Pond joining us. The dancing dad. That's the tag, right? That you use.
Yeah.
It's lovely to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. I see that you have company. Who's joining us as well with you?
I do. I have Dallin with me, my son, who you see dance quite frequently with me on the videos. Yes.
He looks rather shy today. Dallin, what's up? Like I said, forgive me, we're Indians, our pronunciations are a little off. Is it Dallin or is it Dallin?
Dallin.
Okay, because if you did come to India, we'd pronounce it differently. So we're gonna just be asking you a bunch of questions. You look rather shy today. What's up? Are you having fun? Are you going to be a part of this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that conviction. All right. So let's start off. I'm going to, no introductions needed further than I already did. But Mr. Pond, I wanted to always ask you, about being a Bollywood dance influencer, right? How does that work for you? How does that even happen?
It's a good question. I don't think I ever thought I would ever be a Bollywood dancer person, right? The kids Dallin actually started my TikTok account when we first started. COVID hit last year in March. I think it was the 29th.
Yeah.
Like March 29th of last year was our first video that we ever posted on social media on TikTok. And that was because the kids were bored. They had watched as much Netflix as they could watch. And they were like, came up and said, "Hey, Dad, let's do a TikTok video. Let's do a dance video." And I told them no at first, but they were persistent. And Dallin said, "You have to come and do one, Dad, because we made you an account. And so you have to post something." And so we posted the first video, and then I was kind of hooked. And we just kind of kept doing one every day and posting it. And it's kind of how it happened. Next thing you know, we're on Instagram and it's going crazy. So
that's correct. And I don't know so much if half the population watches Amitabh Bachchan films, but they definitely watch Ricky Pond. That is for sure. So I'm really glad that the kids came up with something like this. But Dallin, since you joined us, it's wonderful. Let me quickly ask you, what did you think about? Like, what was behind this idea? Did you just want to make fun of Dad and say, "Hey, Dad, this is what the account that we made," or was it just like, let's do something new?
Yeah, like I'd see a bunch of like TikTok videos of like parents and their kid doing like the fun like hand dances, and like the parents like not being able to do it or like struggling with it. So we were all like, let's get Dad to do it and like make fun of him and like record him doing it. And then we did the Renegade for our first dance. Totally did not do good. And we had to like put it on slow-mo for him to get it. And then it got like, I think like 2,000 views, the first video. And he was all like, let's keep going, because it got more views than Audrey got. And she posted the exact same video.
It got like 3 or 4 times more than she got. And so I was like pretty pumped because she was mad. And I was just like, yeah, let's do another one.
Yeah. And then went on from there.
Okay, so tell me one thing. When you hang out with your friends and they watch these videos, what do they have to say about your dad?
They think it's really cool, and like they'll kind of like make fun of us in like a joking way, and yeah, they just think it's really cool. They're like, it's crazy. One of my friends told me the other day, and they're like, I just think it's so cool how you're like a total celebrity over there in India, and then over here you're just a normal regular kid. And I was like, I feel normal.
That's actually quite nice. Okay, so here's the thing. When people are following you, the question is to you, Ms. Pond, that when people follow you, there's a certain bit of Okay, great. I got so many followers with me today. But on an average, how does that affect you? Because, I've seen a lot of influencers because of the work that I do, that it actually bogs them down when a certain number of followers come down or they're in something or the other. So does it really affect you? Does it bother you? How do you feel about people increasing or decreasing?
Not really. I was never I never started it for the following. It was mostly about just having fun with the kids and sort of an outlet to kind of start dancing again and to start, just exploring the world out there and cultures and what they had to offer as far as their dancing and things like that. I've never focused a ton on the followers. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's fun to see that number go up. But if it all ended tomorrow, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, there's been times that we've been, TikTok has been threatened to be banned in the States, or, Instagram was going to get banned possibly in India just like a couple weeks ago. Right. And it was just like, I was just like, oh, well, I guess if that happens, it happens, and we just keep going. Right. And so it wasn't I just don't focus a lot on that, because I feel like if I focus, or if you focus too much on that, then I think you can sometimes get bogged down in the trap of creating content that
Constantly, yes.
that, or you're attracting the wrong people. You
You're
track
not having fun making what you're doing.
Yeah, you stop having fun because you're so worried about followers or likes or whatever. So we just do it because we have fun.
And I guess that's the agenda, just to have fun. Well, so what is the advice that Ricky Pond would give the other influencers, the newbies in the business who, like I said, they take it, to themselves very personally to constantly create content that also, burns them down. But what is the advice that you would give these guys?
I would say to do something that you have passion about. Do something that you enjoy. Do something that you have fun doing, regardless of whether 2 people liked it or 200,000 people liked it. Right? It's all about you're having fun, and that's it. And that's really what it needs to be. And if people can get to that point, then I think people will follow you because they see that you're having fun and you're enjoying it and those type of things. And anyway, that's just kind of what I would suggest, is stop worrying about all the stuff you really can't control much about, and worry about the things you can control. And that's having fun.
So, and I've told you this, Mr. Pond, earlier when we had connected, that maybe you don't realize the effect that you have on people. There have been days, as artists, we have, or people, we don't wake up on the same side every day. We face different challenges, but there's so many days that I'm just thinking about something really deeply, and I'm going through my Instagram and I see a Ricky Pond video and I'm like, wow, I'm really going to smile at this thing. And it changes my mood. So that's the effect that you have on India, at least. All right. Now we'll see, amongst the 4 kids that you have, we keep seeing Dallin and Audrey a lot. We also have a bunch of videos with your wife, Roxanne. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happens when you're in the mood to make a video and these guys are busy? They're like, no, Dad, I can't come in now.
Yeah, well, that happens quite frequently, to tell you the truth. I'm like, let's go dance. And they're like, nope, I'm busy. I don't feel like it today, or, go do it yourself. I get that a lot, actually, especially when school started and they had a lot more homework and things like that. So it was just like, nope, go out and do it yourself. And sometimes it gets frustrating because I get excited to come home and do a dance with them, and then they turn me down. And so I've got to go out and find one that I can do by myself. And, or I pick a dance and they're like, there's no way I'm doing that. And I'm like, come on. And they're like, no, because I did this one with a towel, and I tried to get them to do it with me. And they're like, no, we have friends, Dad. We're not doing that. So they wouldn't do it with me. And so I did it by myself, and it was great.
All right. But do you ever happen to bribe them, or I don't know, like Indian parents do this, they threaten us. They threaten us if they want something. So
Yeah.
do you guys do that as well?
Well, they tried to bribe me. They're like, I'll dance with you, Dad, if you go get me a Blizzard, or I'll I'll dance with you if you do. And I'm like, no, you just dance with me because I'm your dad, you know, and we're going to have fun and you're going to like it. Right. But it doesn't work.
Okay. All right. So just a couple of minutes back, when we started this part off, we were talking about how people wake up differently each day. We're not the same person on an average. So does it happen to Ricky Pond that he wakes up one day and you're just like, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything today. I don't want to make a video, but you have to make a video in this case because, you know, your followers, your fans are waiting for one. How does Ricky Pond deal with that?
There are times where I feel, you know, like I just don't have it in me that day, or I just don't have the energy, or I just don't feel it. Right. But then I think of everybody that exists is expecting that new video to come out. So they, you know, like you said, I get a ton of comments all the time that talk about, hey, your dance is bringing a big smile to my face, or, you know, I was in this big depression and your dances have brought me out of this depression. And, you know, I think about all of these comments that people say that are very positive and they're uplifting even to me. And some of them I just don't know how to respond to. They're so cool, you know, and you know, and so I find a dance, I learn it, and then I hit record and it's showtime. You know, I put the smile on my face, I do the dance, I put as much energy in it as I can. And when I'm done, I feel a ton better. But sometimes while I'm learning it, or while I'm, you know, trying to get the kids to do it, I get frustrated because they won't do it with me because I need their energy. I need them to kind of step up a little bit, but they don't do it. But no, I'm just like everybody else. I have my up days and down days, you know, probably more down than up, but, you know, I just push through, you know, it's, you just got to go. You just have to do it.
That's correct. Okay, the show must go on. That's what they say. Well, buddy, I wanted to ask you this. On an average, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, who's the person who gives in the most number of steps that actually work for you guys? Is it like 5 dad, 3 Audrey, a bunch of them from you, or is it just like a dad? Like you have to do this step.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty even. Like if we find a dance that we like, we'll show him and then we'll do it. And he finds a dance that he likes, he'll show it to us. And if we want to do it, if we like the dance, then we'll do it. And yeah, but we just find dances. We just find dances and copy them and tag them. And yeah. So
do you find, because I'll tell you this, in the Indian Bollywood industry, right, in this business, we have people stationed to make the actor or the actress dance, which means that not everybody is like hitting it on in the right step. So how difficult is it for you, or how easy is it for you to, do a Bollywood step? Because we have a lot of shakes and breaks. So is it easy? Is it something that you guys are learning up?
It's very, very different because like the Indian, just the music, like you guys, your music is like, it has an underlining beat that you have to dance to. It's like not the top beat that Americans would like dance to, like the American music. And so like you have to try to find the second beat. And then once you find it, then you kind of get it. But it's a lot of like different random movements, and they tell a story. As of like here, we just kind of dance. And that doesn't really have much meaning here.
Yeah, I mean it's you know, the steps are once you get them, it's not hard. I mean, we can pick them up pretty quickly. I'm not great at like the shakes and the hips and the arm movements and things like that, but you know, I just kind of, most of it is I try my best to do the movements the way they go, but mostly we kind of put our own little flavor to it. Yeah. and kind of make it our own, except it's sort of Indian-esque, you know, so hopefully we don't butcher it so bad but it's okay if people laugh at us because that's part of it. You know, we're having fun, and if people laugh, it's fun. I mean, we could be in the comedy section, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I tell you, you guys do a great job at it. Apart from being a dancing dad and an excellent one at that, let me tell you, what can people find Ricky Pond doing on a normal day, on a regular day? What's it look like for you?
Oh, wow. Well, a day in the life of Ricky is I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been jumping on my bike, pedaling to work for about 12 miles to get to work. I work 10 hours a day as a graphic designer. I do package design and for a fruit company. We market and sell apples, pears, cherries, and blueberries. And so I do that for 10 hours a day. Then I come home, and for the last year, it's been social media, work, graphic designer by day, social media guy at night. So on weekends, when the weather's good, I like to get out into the mountains. I like to camp, fish, hike, just get out, get away, unplug, leave technology behind, and just go out and enjoy nature and enjoy the quiet of, just the beauty out there in the world. So those are the things I like to do. I kind of like to get at one with just my caveman guy, I guess. I don't know.
And it's so important. It's so important to be able to, recoil from everything that you do. And taking a break from social media is one of my favorite hobbies. I'd like to call it that. Like, I'm just unplugged.
Yeah.
People can wait, Okay. Right. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, one word answers. Mr. Pond, are you ready?
Yeah.
Then I'll come to you next. Okay.
Yeah.
I have something really fun for you, Dallin. I want you to just get all the energy growing. All right. I'm assuming that you have tried Indian cuisine at some point in your life. Yes?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What is Ricky Pond's favorite Indian dish?
Chicken? No. That's one word, right? No.
No, I don't mean one word. Please tell me.
What was that? It was buttered chicken.
Yum.
Did we do buttered chicken? I think we did buttered chicken once. Yeah. And then we did another thing. This is longer than one word, but we actually did like an Instagram live with like this famous Indian chef.
Dipna.
And
I think that's her name.
Yeah, I've got a book right here. It's just like.
Oh.
All right.
Dipna. Is that her name?
Yeah, Dipna. Anyway, we got on an Insta live with her, and she cooked on her end and we cooked on our end. And so when it was all said and done, we had this awesome meal. It was great. And it was some chicken thing.
Some chicken, rice, and like curry.
It was good. It was yummy. I don't know what it was called, but it was yummy.
We call it chicken curry rice, since you mentioned three things in it.
That was probably what it was.
Was it called biryani by any chance? Biryani? No?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. You have danced to so many songs. As a matter of fact, the last one that I remember we talked about was something back in the 80s that I didn't imagine. And I was like, where did he get this song from? But of all the songs, that you perform on, what is your favorite most Bollywood song?
Oh, there's so many, actually. It's like every one I dance to, it becomes my new favorite. But the one that I remember is that Bang Bang song from back in the 80s, I think it was, right? It just reminded me a lot of what I grew up dancing to. It sounded like that type of music that I danced to growing up. And at first, when I heard the song, I thought they were singing in English. But the only word I can understand was bang, bang. So I was like, man, I'm getting this. I can totally understand it. And then I couldn't.
Right. Okay. So that's the favorite song. All right. Here's one of my favorite questions that I think is, it tells me a lot about my guest. If Ricky Pond had to give his younger self an advice, what would that be?
Oh, wow. I wish I could remember what I said last time. No, I would probably I think what I said is that I don't know if I would have changed anything because everything that I went through in life kind of made me who I am today. I think I would probably tell them not to sweat the small stuff. Don't take things so seriously. And, you know, there are probably times in my life where I got a little too crazy or uptight. Maybe be more patient with your kids because, you know, they did dumb things like you did dumb things when you were a kid, right? So just be patient. Yeah, that's probably what I would tell my younger self is, you know, it's okay.
All right, that's a nice advice to give yourself. Has Ricky Bond ever learned any words, as a matter of fact, from the Bollywood song, and you've gone all the way and Googled it and be like, oh, this is what it means? Has it ever happened? Do you know any Hindi words at all?
People have taught me some Hindi words, but I don't remember them. Like they'll teach. Yeah, well, we like know namaste because we've said that a ton. But there have been other phrases and words that people have taught us along the way. And then
give me one or two. I really want to remember this.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember like words like bahat or words like and I don't even know what that means.
But bahut means very.
Very? All right.
Yeah, like
so,
bahut pyar is lot of love. Very, very. So
okay. All right. So that I see that a lot in the comments too, but I don't know what it means. So very. I don't remember a lot of the comments, to be honest, and I wish I did. I just can't remember them because I'm not using them daily.
have you ever watched a Bollywood film?
You know, we've watched a couple. My wife and I started watching this one called The Three Idiots, I think. And
it's a book that's been remade into a film.
Yeah, and somebody told us about it, and they said it was like one of their favorite Bollywood movies, and so we started to watch it. And I found myself wanting to just fast forward to the dancing scenes because I had a really hard time reading the subheads and then keeping what's going on in the movie and reading because I don't read really super fast. So it's like I'm like watching this and I'm trying to keep up with it. It was horrible. So I was just like, let's just go, you know. And my wife was watching one a couple of weeks ago and it had a lot of English in it. I was like, what are you watching? You know, and because like they were speaking kind of Hindi or like probably Hindi and English. It was kind of like Spanglish, but it was Hindi-ish, English, whatever. I don't know what you guys called speaking English and Hindi at the same time, but it was kind of Hindi English. I don't know. But I was hoping that we would find a Bollywood show, and maybe you know one that speaks a lot of English.
So here's the thing: a lot of the content that comes out on Netflix and a bunch of the other of these independent movies or shows have a lot of English in them, and I think that's something that you would enjoy. How about I send you a list later after the show, and you can watch those films and shows? That
would be great. That would be awesome. I mean, we enjoy them. We think they're kind of fun. We were watching some Housewives of Bollywood or something at one point, to see what was like and stuff. And people were like, "Don't watch that stuff."
The Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives. That's what it's called. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a nice show. I liked it. People can say whatever. A lot of people actually liked it. Some didn't, but it does have superstar wives in that show. I'm going to give you some really fun, easy Bollywood names. You could check those movies out later, perhaps. But Mohabbatein.
Mohabbatein.
That's right. Do you know what it means? Mohabbatein. Mohabbatein is love. It's a very Shah Rukh Khan film. Do you know who Shah Rukh Khan is?
We heard of the name.
He will be so disappointed. You know who Shah Rukh Khan is? He is the Khan, the star. But anyway, okay, moving on to Zanjeer.
Zanjeer.
Yeah, Zanjeer is like a very famous Hindi movie back in the 80s. Okay, last one. Satte Pe Satta.
Satte Pe Satta.
Wow, yeah, not that bad. Quite good. Good job. All right. Yes, that's also a very, very famous film, Satte Pe Satta. I would tell you a bunch of movies that you guys could sit and watch together. But all right, back to the show again. We are in the midst of a pandemic. In fact, It's one of those months actually that India is shut down and people are, going out, getting vaccinated. Oh, talking about vaccination, that reminds me. Have you guys taken the jab?
No, not yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay. Are you looking forward to? Isn't everybody getting vaccinated in the US?
There's
It's not really open up much in our area. So as soon as it does get open, we'll look into it.
it's kind of this, I kind of want to make sure all of the elderly people who need it worse than I do, get it. I feel like I'm a relatively healthy person, so I'm on the I'm on the side of go get it if you really feel like you absolutely need it. But I'm on the fence of like, I think there's other people that need it worse than I do.
More than me. But if you're stepping out, I think that's imperative for your and your family's health. But most importantly, I understand what you're saying. People who need it otherwise. But here's the thing: in India, nobody follows rules, right? So no matter what happens, we have to get vaccinated for our own sakes. But I'm sure in the US, people are following more rules. All right, talking about the pandemic. Your journey started off with the pandemic, Mr. Pond. Do you want to tell us how that was for you? I mean, of course, you had a bunch of things to do, but the pandemic in general has been, a bummer for a bunch of people across the world. Nobody was looking to it. Nobody was expecting it. So what was your experience like? Apart from videos, what have you been catching up to?
Well, my life really hasn't changed much because I work in an industry that's is essential in the food industry. So basically, I would go to work every day like I normally have. I've always gone into the office. I've never been like quarantined to my house and had, not been able to leave or anything like that. Not like my kids and my wife and where they had to stay home. They couldn't go to school. My wife works at the school. And so school was canceled. They all had school at home. And so they all stayed at home. And so their lives changed because their after school activities, we didn't have ball games. We didn't have plays and music recitals and those type of things to go to every night. So we kind of filled that void with dancing, right? Or making a video for social media. That was kind of the way that we kind of filled that time where we would normally be going to a ball game or going to a play practice or running the kids around to their extra after school activities. So once all that stuff starts to happen again, I don't know where we're going to find the time to do dances and stuff, but we're definitely going to try to keep it up because we've kind of worked it in as part of a daily routine. So hopefully, we'll be able to find an hour we can carve out just to do some dancing.
Okay, that's nice. And I'm also going to wrap up the show as much as I would love to continue it. Asking you this one question about all the fans that you have built, the stories that you've built, amidst all the Bollywood that you've given us. And well, it's just a truckload of happiness that you send us. But a message for my listeners in Bengaluru, in India, and all your fans.
Dal, do you have anything you want to say to them?
Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah, I think that's just the biggest thing that we can do is just, tell them how much we appreciate the love and support they've given us and the acceptance that they've given us. We're foreigners, we're from America, we're not Indian, but they've welcomed us with open arms and, been very, very, very supportive and positive mostly. And so we've really enjoyed that. And I don't think we could have asked to fallen into a better, culture than the Indian culture, which, is very family oriented and is, very similar to what we are. And so that's been really kind of nice.
Okay, wonderful. Before I let you go, I would like you to keep this request if you can. You just want to do, you don't have to stand up, okay? But if you want to do like just a step or two that I could imitate and be Ricky Pond for a second, I would be delighted. Would you be nice enough to do that with us?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
Let's go.
All right.
Dallin, Do you want to join us? It looks like
Sure.
he's just like, "No, I'm out of this video now."
No, he's just like, go ahead, let's do this.
Okay, let's do this.
All right. So, what kind of move would you like to learn?
Anything. I'll just dance with you.
All right, perfect. So one of my favorites, and everybody sees, right, is my little spin. So you can, kind of spin really fast. I like to do a lot of times just kind of my little shoulder movement. Just kind of a
Okay.
snake a little bit. It's kind of a Janet Jackson thing. You start with the head, shoulders, and then side.
Okay,
Head,
I got it.
shoulder, side.
Yeah. Okay, this is fun. Awesome.
What was that one?
Which one?
I don't know. We can go. What was that one?
Oh yeah.
That's a Kahuna Pyaare step.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I'd have to learn that one again.
It goes forward, back, forward, back.
So he'd
That
have
is
to
a
teach.
very famous step from this very famous movie that I saw about 8 times. It's called Kahuna Pyaare. That's a step from there. Thank you for doing that.
You're very welcome. That was fun. That was one that Dallin and I did that kind of people liked it quite a bit. So, yeah, I don't know. We have fun dancing and learning the steps. Sometimes we'll go back and try to remember them. I'm a little slow at remembering them, but they're fun.
You're telling me, okay. All right, Mr. Pon, Dallin, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. I understand that, the times are different in terms of back in the US and India, but really to put this time around and joining us at the Red FM studios is just something that I'm always going to cherish and remember. And I want you to also take back this message from the rest of India and all your fans that we love you guys and we'd love to see you more often. Thank you so much for making our lives so much more fun as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Of course. All right. And like we say, it's the end of something amazing, but we'll be back again next week. Until then, like, comment, share. It's 93.5 Red FM 3, 2, 1.
Bajati Roho.
Red FM 93.5